it's great to have the opportunity to chat with you again. Natascha, I've only seen the first couple of episodes, but boy, are they ever gripping. And I want to ask you right off the bat, how Halo savvy were you when you jumped into this?
Well, I was sort of Halo savvy in a kind of slightly misty, foggy way, in that my husband had played it when it first came out, and I mean, I think was a real devotee. He was he used to look after our son whilst playing Halo, which I could say is dubious childcare, but he seems perfect. He's an adult now, so that all worked. And now it's sort of back in our household with a force. We got, Halo Infinite before Christmas, and my little boy is a convert and a devotee. So yeah, it has legs. It's a multi-generational game, which I think is very cool. And I love the fact that it's been around for a while. And it's time for a new iteration, not even a reinvention, but a sort of translation to TV.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Because I was going to say exactly what you said. It has legs. Like, it's been around for so many years. So there's so many loyal, devoted fans, and always new fans coming in, playing the game. For you, is there a pressure taking on this character of Dr. Halsey? Because it's not exactly the same, that you have that opportunity to kind of expand her, but what kind of pressure is that on you to play something like this?
I guess because I'm not a gamer myself, I think in a strange way, ignorance is bliss in that respect. Yeah. So I could come to it with, we did do Halo Bootcamp, and I did familiarize myself. And I also spent some time playing the game with a guy who, I guess his hours add up to 3 years of playing. So he really knows. And my half brother is a game journalist, a gamer journalist reviewer. So I had some good sources that I could go to and familiarize myself with it. But then I put that to one side and thought, okay, so how do I make this? And we're already restricted with at least the Halsey storyline, and I with a lot of the other characters as well, in that a lot of it is CGI and green screen, blue screen. So there is an element of sort of, you can't move it necessarily always in a natural way. You have to stay in one spot. You're looking at a dot. That there's something disembodied about the experience of playing the role anyway. Right. Which, funnily enough, with all the UNSC stuff, I think everyone is slightly disembodied, and there's a sort of slight strange. But I think it also is cool because it feels slightly futuristic and maybe 26th century, and we don't know what we're going to be like at that point. So exactly, I think that what felt like a slight encumbrance or obstacle whilst we were shooting has ended up sort of being a friend, because it just makes you, it creates a sort of different, I don't even know what to call it, place in space or something.
Right. Yeah. It's really cool to be able to have an opportunity like this. Now, Dr. Halsey, she's kind of in a gray area, I think. Like, we don't know if she's a villain. We don't know if she's good. I mean, look, she's a scientist. She's doing her job here. What's your take on her?
Well, I suppose what really interested me is that we can keep her, that she's inscrutable, that there's something she's hiding, but we're not really sure what it is. Yeah. Which, again, that can lead to all sorts of things if you're acting as secret. But is not always as free and as emotionally articulate as a character who's got a mission statement that they're able to be very explicit about. But nonetheless, I agree with you. She is a scientist, and that was the biggest pull. Someone who has to lives and experiments in order to find out truth, reveal truths, make proof of things. She can't act entirely on, let's say a politician or an actor, on sort of hubris and smoke and mirrors. I mean, it's an evidence-based career, and I love the contrast of that. That it's not really interpretive; it's the fact of these, and so I feel that she has, in a sense, isn't limited or isn't that interested in the limitations of our biology. By the way, be that in a relationship sense, of genetic bonds, or in terms of her own body. I think she's very, very happy to make a lot of personal sacrifices in order to, and from her point of view, for the greater good. She upscales her motherhood, if you like, to the whole of humanity rather than just to her one daughter, who she knows will be perfectly fine with the father.
Yeah.
Why should she spend her life investing in that one life when she can perhaps invest in 1 billion future lives? For her, there's just no argument. That would be a luxury. That would be an indulgence. It would be selfish, in fact. And I find those sorts of moral paradigms, those discussions, those thoughts, and also what's so interesting is how collected, how aligned we all are in our current thinking that our children or our, that our nearest and dearest are all that matters, that we think very little about future generations. In fact, I know we posture at the moment and pretend to with climate change and so forth, but ultimately we're deeply sort of solipsistic about the time that we're in, and that this generation has it right and we're fixing things, and we're gonna, no one's ever done this before. This is as if, even in a sort of anecdotal sense, I remember talking to some girls not so long ago, a few years back, around Me Too, and they honestly had never heard of Simone de Beauvoir or Germaine Greer or any of the great feminists, and they had no idea that we were standing on the shoulders of real trailblazers who had tipped things up down and reframed things. And I found that really interesting. I thought, oh yeah, that every generation's like that. And I think Halsey is living outside of her generation in a sense, or outside the world that she inhabits, and that's a really difficult place to be. Whether it's many times in history, we've seen that the people who tried to hack a space or change a way of thinking, I use Galileo sometimes as an example, the amount of conviction and belief. He was was heretic. He was put in jail. He was blind. I mean, his life was horrendous.
It's interesting, right? Yeah. It makes you think. Well, listen, I have to wrap it up, but I really want to congratulate you. It's great to see you in this series, back on series TV. Wonderful. I'm sure fans are going to love this, and best of luck to you. I can't wait to see more. Thank you for your time today, Natascha. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks.
Okay. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.